debris trapped in every fold the water can reach. A hippo, spending most of its day fully submerged, depends on this underwater system far more than it ever depends on birds above the surface. Fish move across its thick, mostly hairless hide in loose, shifting groups, targeting the deep creases around its legs and the underside of its belly, areas that remain hidden from any bird for hours at a time. An elephant standing chest deep in the river receives an entirely different kind of care than it does on land. Its sheer size means that once submerged, more surface area disappears beneath the water than remains exposed above it. Fish, specializing in this behavior, move across its flanks and legs in numbers, reaching into wrinkles that even the most determined oxpecker could never fully access from dry ground. A buffalo standing still in shallow water offers fish one of the easiest targets available. Loose skin flakes and ticks, softened by prolonged contact with water, make for an efficient meal, and within minutes, a small cluster of fish can be seen working methodically along its legs and lower flanks, largely undisturbed by an animal that has learned to stand patiently through the process. Zebra prove more difficult patients for this underwater team, just as they do for the birds above. Their tendency to shift weight and step frequently scatters fish before a sustained feeding pattern can develop. Even so, brief windows of stillness allow for short bursts of activity, fish darting in whenever the animal settles, however briefly, into a calmer stance. What becomes clear, watching this system in full, is that no single species could manage the job alone. Birds handle what water cannot reach: exposed skin, dry wounds, high perches like the top of an elephant's head or the base of a giraffe's ears. Fish handle what birds cannot reach: submerged bellies, underwater creases, the parts of a hippo that almost never leave the river at all. Together, without any coordination and without any awareness of each other's existence, these two very different sets of doctors keep the giants of the savanna functioning. A tick removed on land by a bird's precise bill. A parasite pulled free underwater by a fish's quick bite. Different tools, different environments, the same fundamental job repeated endlessly across every species large enough to need the help. By the end of the day, an animal that started the morning covered in ticks and irritation has, in most cases, received care from both directions, above the waterline and below it, delivered by creatures that owe it nothing and expect nothing beyond the meal itself. Young animals experience this system differently than adults do. A calf's skin, thinner and less weathered, carries fewer parasites to begin with, drawing less attention from both birds and fish compared to the older animals around it. As it grows, its body slowly becomes the kind of surface both cleaning systems find worth investing time in, another patient added to the daily rotation that has served every generation before it. Seasonal changes shift this pattern considerably. During the driest months, when dust and cracked earth irritate skin far more than usual and wounds accumulate faster than they can heal, both oxpeckers and fish concentrate their efforts more heavily around any available water source. Once the rains arrive and the landscape turns green again, parasite loads ease across the board, and both teams of cleaners spread their attention more evenly, no longer drawn so urgently to any single animal or location. Individual relationships also form within this larger system, subtle enough to go unnoticed without patient observation. Certain oxpeckers appear to favor particular hosts, perhaps recognizing the reliability of an animal whose folds and wrinkles consistently produce a meal. Fish populations near frequently used river crossings grow accustomed to the daily rhythm of herds arriving and departing, gathering in anticipation before the first animal even reaches the water's edge. This is the quiet, overlapping system that keeps the savanna's largest bodies moving forward. One small bite, one small catch, one ordinary day at a time.